Oh my gosh, this thing is an absolute death trap.
I am so excited. I'm actually killing 2 birds with 1 stone because I always wanted a Norton.
That's a Norton?
That's a Norton. Norton. And I always wanted a chopper.
Oh, look at that. It's a Norton chopper.
And I always wanted a Springer chopper bike.
It's a stock Norton chopper.
Now, I'm gonna say it again and you not say anything.
Okay.
And I always wanted a Springer front end chopper bike. See? 2 birds, 1 stone. This thing is awesome. That's not gonna be floppy at all. Let's get this thing out of its home. We're gonna get it on the trailer, back to the shop. We're gonna fire it up and go for a ride. Dan.
Wow.
Get to the chopper.
That was lame.
Shut up, it was funny. Now, you say, I ain't going nowhere. All right, got it out of the trailer. It's cold here in Pennsylvania this time of year. Let's get this thing inside and we're gonna figure out what exactly it is we bought. I got a phone call and they said, hey, there's this Norton chopper. Do you want it? It's priced this. And I said, yep, I want it. And I didn't even ask really what it was. So we're gonna get this thing inside to the warm, get it up onto the table, check it out, see exactly what it is that we have, and then we're gonna get it running and go for a ride, hopefully. Now, the next question is gonna be, will this fit on the table? We will see.
Oh.
Barely.
Just barely.
So like I said, I was told this was a 1970, according to the title. I did a little homework because I don't know Nortons very well. But in 1970, it looks like they had 2 different models. They had the Commando, which they had some sub-models of the Commando, and they had the Mercury. Now the Mercury was a 650cc engine, and they built that bike out of old parts from other bikes. Now there was only 750 of the Mercuries made, most of which made their way into the States. Commandos, there was a lot more. In 1970, the Commando had a 750cc engine. Later on, like 73 or so, they went to the 850, which actually was like an 826. They just really upped the CCs on the advertisements. But anyway, I'm kind of anxious to see what this is. If we have a Mercury engine, I think that's pretty cool because, again, 750 of them, ish. That's not very high production numbers. Now, I will be honest, I know nothing about this frame and I know nothing about this front end. Right now, I'm just gonna focus on the engine. This is a quintessential late 60s, early 70s chopper. High in the front, super raked out. Now, normally I think a lot of times they would have had more of an ape hanger bar. This is quintessential early 70s chopper and it is cool. So one of the things we got going on here is we do have right side shift with drum brakes. So that means when I ride it, I will probably be downshifting while screaming and running stop signs because I'll think it's the brake and I'll be like, "Aah!" and it won't be slowing down. And then I'll hit the brake and it has drum brakes, so I still won't slow down. Kind of how that works. There's a key. Look, we got a key.
Oh, hey.
That doesn't look 1970s Triumph though. The way I understand it is in the early 70s, this was turned into a chopper. The term chopper comes from chopping things, cutting or chopping. So like what guys were doing was cutting and chopping this frame here to change neck angles and doing different things like that. Now the story with this bike here is it was built into a chopper, early 70s, and then I think it changed hands. Somebody took it apart, probably to redo whatever. It never got put back together. It got sold as a basket case. It got put back together. It got fired up. And when the fellow went out to ride it, he laid it over, parked it. And that was in, I believe, the late 70s, early 80s, and it's kind of been just sitting ever since. That's when we showed up. And now we're gonna check it out and get it running. First things first, let's start where we start. Dan, should we start up on the front or work our way to the back? Okay, so we have a Goodyear tire. Why can't I ever find a size one? There it is, a 21. I feel like 21-inch wheels were not very common back in the late 60s, early 70s. I feel like that was a modification with the front end. They would have went from maybe like I don't know, a 19 front to a 21 front. And then we got this big, long, like beam style Springer front end. Of course, the sticker's chewed off. I can't tell what it is. I wonder if it's JP distributors maybe. We got a little tiny headlight. That was the styling back then. This is cool. So this is our speedometer and odometer, but this is old school, man. Look, this is Drag Specialties. And that's the old logo. And look back here, it was made in Japan. All right, so we got our throttle, kind of works. Front brake, well, there's actually some action there. Clutch, oof. Coffin style gas tank. Is that even metal? This I feel like is more of an 80s kind of styling thing. Maybe I'm wrong, I don't know, but in my head, that's 80s. What do we got in here?
What?
Wow, well, it's empty. Looks like an old paint can that has a bunch of old paint sitting in it. And we'll see what we can do there. King and queen seat, laid back, you know. Sissy bars so your girl don't fall off on your way to the hop and bop. What do we got? 16 on the rear, maybe? Yep, 16. Got the MT90 16, pretty common. Nice tail light, that's all nice and intact. It's actually off of Suzuki. Got to put a Suzuki tail light on your Norton chopper. Oh, we got a battery down here. Now, let's see what we have for engine. If we have a 750cc engine, we're gonna have, it's a commando engine. If we have the 650cc, it's gonna be the Mercury engine. That's just like casting marks. Look how rudimentary this stuff is. We have a 4-speed gearbox, right side shift, kickstart. Oh, should we see if this thing's, that moves quite a bit. All right, let's see if this thing will turn over. Oh, nice, nice. It's got some compression, I tell you. Oy, ay, 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 ay. Whew. Okay, compression. Look at these pipes. Look at that, that's kind of cool, I like that. Let's investigate this motor. I'm gonna put the table up. One thing I'm seeing here right off the hop, look at this. Looks like we have a rubber mounted engine here and those mounts are shot. But this is gonna be a Commando, so this should be a 750cc motor. The Commandos were rubber mounted. I don't believe the Mercurys were. So crusty on the castings, that's kind of cool. Yeah, I was really hoping this would be a 650. I thought that would be cool. I'm gonna say that's not the carburetor that went on it. Not a Mikuni carb. Cool. Oh boy, that's a little loose. Oh, and tight. We're gonna have to address that. How about this one? That one's loose too.
Easy access.
I guess so. Looks like we got some fresh plugs. Fresh? No, I say fresh. No, maybe not. I'm ready to dig in and get this thing to fire up. Okay, so let's see. First thing I'm gonna do, pull spark plugs. Yup, that's black. That one looks better, not great. Okay. There's a piston in there. Let's see what the other one looks like. Oh, there I see a bit of a valve. Clean spot where the spark plug's hitting. Or not hitting, but firing. It's not awful. And we know it's free because it does that. I'm gonna spray some juice in there because this thing's been sitting for a fortnight.
Yeah, I know if I'm sitting for a fortnight, I want juice.
Okay, so I'm gonna spin that through a cycle here. Actually, there, I'm liking this. This is working better. Yeah, I got some of that coil in there and spinning over a little easier. Okay, so we have up and down on the pistons. These motors are a overhead valve, exhaust valve, intake valves. They are an overhead valve, parallel twin. This motor is 826 cc's, about 50.5 cubic inches. They claim, the early ones, the 750s had a top speed of like 115 miles an hour and made somewhere around 58 horsepower at 6,800 RPMs. Fair amount of rip'ems. Okay, moving on. So we have the ups and the downs. This goes up and down too. It's 4-speed wet clutch. Next thing we need is the fire. Let's go to spark. We got coils up here. We got wires coming into here. I don't know if this is electronic or points. We're gonna find out. Hopefully it's as easy as taking these screws out. I'll be honest, I never really worked on the Norton before. We unboxed one that time with Sean. Yeah, so we got an electronic ignition. Call me dumb. That cover was on upside down.
Really?
See that hole? Yeah. That's a weep hole. So that should be down. So if any moisture or whatever gets in, it drains out. They had it up, so everything drains in instead of out. That's an easy fix. All you do is flip over the cover. Okay, look at that. We're making progress already. Okay, I have a battery here, right? Because there's a key here. Let's see what we got. I'm gonna say this battery is dead. Here. First of all, let's get this out of there. That's the old floor mat out of like a 67 Chevy. Well, this battery here is a never start. Good old never starts. Oh, jeez, that one's heavy. Okay, let's throw some battery cables on there quick. This thing's leaking a decent amount of oil. I think I read somewhere in the history where they were having issues with some of that. Sounds about appropriate for the time. Okay, red to positive, black to negative. Hey, let's turn this key. It looks like this is the key you get with your Harbor Freight toolbox.
Oh, yeah.
But it works too for your chopper. Oh! We got a light.
That's a light. Yep.
We got a light. We got a light. Nice. We'll see if we get spark.
Yep.
What?
Yep.
Really?
Yeah, right away.
Right away.
Right away. A little bit. Yep.
Nice. No way.
No way.
Loving it. There.
Yep.
Okay.
Is that just as
Yes. We got compression, we got spark, and now all we need is fuel. Huh. This gas tank's a little ugly on the inside too. Let's turn this all off, and I think I'm even gonna go as far as unhooking it. Chopper craze is really interesting. It would have started in the late 60s. I'm gonna tell you what I learned from reading Wikipedia, if I'm being perfectly honest. But Arlen Ness was in the San Francisco Bay Area. He started building some of these longer raked out bikes. And then in 67, Denver Mullins, I believe was his name, Denver's Choppers. He was in San Bernardino, and he and his business partner that opened the shop, they really started taking it to the next level. They started doing the higher frame, longer rakes, the bigger front wheel, the 21-inch front wheel. That was rolling, and they started shop in 1967. The chopper thing didn't really take off yet, but it was starting in that California scene. And then everything changed one day in July, 1969. Comment if you know what that day was. All right, did you put your guess in? July 14th, 1969. Easy Rider was released. And when that movie came out, that was Dennis Hopper, Peter Fonda, and Batman, Jack Nicklaus.
Jack Nicholson.
Jack Nicholson. Jack Nicklaus was the golfer.
Who played the Joker in Batman?
That's what I said. Anyway, the chopper scene just blew up after that, right? Like everybody pictures the Captain America bike. Yeah, bone dry. Bone dry.
Bone dry.
It's all down in the, yeah, see here, look, watch. Okay, see how that's empty? Empty. See that tube there? Mm-hmm. Okay, watch this.
Ooh.
See oil coming out?
Bloop.
So, like I said, dry sump, been sitting forever in a Hound's age. All the oil's down in the crankcase. So when it fires, or we kick it a bunch, whichever comes first, the oil will work its way back up. It's coming out of there, so we're good for now. Carburetor. Now, these originally came with an Amal, A-M-A-L, carburetor. Now, luckily for me, and I say that because I can take apart and put together a Mikuni with my eyes closed by now. But this one here has a Mikuni on it. And look how easy this is to get to. I may be a chopper guy after all. Like the easiest airbox I ever had to remove.
I mean, if choppers were bred out of modification, it stands to reason that they should be easy to pull parts off of.
That's a good point. If you guys know anything about this style, anything more than I do, but this coffin tank, this is kind of a coffin style, same here with the risers and stuff. I feel like this bike was updated. I'm getting an 80s vibe, not a 70s vibe. In my brain, like 70s would have been, it wouldn't have had this coffin tank, it would have had a normal tank, and it would have been like, I don't know, like I'm picturing like colorful metallic paint.
What heavy metal band do you think the rider of this bike was a fan of, since all this coffin stuff?
Alice Cooper.
Okay. Alice Cooper fanboy, we got your bike.
I got a bad reputation.
Okay, we have a newer fuel filter kind of on here. We got enough hose clamps. Choke a bear. That fuel line wasn't falling off anytime soon, I'll tell you. Pop this off. Here we have our carburetor.
Carburetor.
I know the slide's free. I worked the throttle. It's a little smoochy. Okay, to the healing bench, Dan. To the fixing table. I don't know, man. I don't want to get ahead of myself here, but these screws came out a little easy. Maybe this thing won't be horrible.
Uh-oh. It's harder to come off. That means there's more goop keeping it glued on. That's clearly what that means.
Clearly. Wow.
Has nothing to do with anything else. The more that Craig has to hammer away at it, the more dirty it is on the inside. The more revolting horrors are behind that cap.
I was feeling pretty good when them screws were loose.
Yeah. The bigger the hammer, the greater the untold terror that awaits us.
I feel like I'm being punked here. I haven't had one this tight yet. In all my doings. Oh, there it goes.
Oh no. Audience, watch out. This isn't for the faint of heart. Viewer discretion is advised.
Trying to get that gasket. There we go.
Ah!
Okay.
That's not that bad.
It's not horrible. We've seen worse. That's kind of grody. Floats are stuck grody. There we go. Oh, okay, it's not that bad. There we go. Okay. Now we just have all of our normal carb stuff. Normal as can be. Cleaning up pretty nicely. Just gonna let that soak a little bit. There we go. Pilot jet. Pilot jet's gonna be clogged as the day is long. Okay, we're gonna call that carb body clean. Okay, get our float piece clean here. Good. Pilot is clean. Floats look good. Float pin. I'm gonna make sure that's clean and not gummed up, or else you could get a hanging float. I'm starting to wonder if this thing was sitting as long as I think it was, because, I mean, it was sitting a while because of the way everything is, but some of these parts look really good.
Is this the rare owner that was like cleaning it up while it was sitting?
I don't know, maybe. We can only go by what we're told, you know? Yeah, that's a lot better.
Wow.
All right, now let's put this back together. A little residue on them floats. Oh, let's put pilot jet back in. That's pretty important. Now, how was this all contrapted? Yeah, something wasn't right because that main jet wasn't even in there. The main jet was laying in the bottom of the drain. This bike would have never wanted to run without the main jet in. Now let's put this all back together. This goes in here. This came from this side. There we go. Yeah, we even get to reuse these screws. That never happens. Remember, when you're working on this stuff, can you see the dot on the screw head? Okay. That signifies it's a JIS, Japanese Industrial Standard Screwdriver. Use a JIS screwdriver on JIS screws, always.
You just made so many commenters happy.
Well, I address
so
it.
relieved.
I address it every couple videos, but I still see a lot of comments where people are saying about JIS this and JIS that and use, look.
They just assume you're a big old dummy using Phillips.
Apparently.
Someone's really going.
Homeboy thinks it's a racetrack out there. Gonna have to go channel my inner old man and yell at him next time. Well, there's no need for that. Driving like an idiot. There's kids in town.
Are you sure it's not just a car that sounds that way?
Well, maybe it wasn't. Maybe it just made a lot of noise and didn't go anywhere. We do have quite a few of them around here too.
But to say, I've driven through this neighborhood. I've seen the project cars, vehicles sitting around.
It's not that bad. I feel like that was almost too easy.
You're implying that something is bound to go wrong now.
Yeah, remember, this is a kickstart bike. Yeah. Wow. Almost, we're gonna take the win. If this fires up easy.
Let's go win.
Let's go win. Before I put that on, let's address these fuel lines. Oh.
Whoa, whoa.
Easy, Tiger.
Whoa.
See these fuel lines? What happens with ethanol fuel, if this had ethanol in it, I don't know, but there's a squishy spot here. Like here it's hard, here's hard, here's a squishy spot. And what happens with ethanol fuel is it eats the lines from the inside out. So sometimes your lines will look good, but on the insides, it's like you drank a 30 of the Paps and ate a pepperoni pizza at midnight, you know, so we're gonna replace all this. We should probably look at this tank as well. If anybody can tell me more information about this frame and this front end, make me some comments. I wanna know more. I wasn't around in the 70s, so help me out here, fellas. Longest bolt ever. Let's take a gander. Okay, so here's the deal. See all this stuff? See that white stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, so we got some bad gas in there, which is not a problem. We can get that out. But see all that cream colored stuff? That's tank liner. That's creme tank liner. It's not awful. Not ideal, but it's not awful. What do you think? Do the petcocks work? Yep, that one works. This one works.
I thought I saw some come out, yeah.
Yep, that one works. Okay, let's get this drained. Okay, I'm liking that. We're gonna slap that right back on there. Yes, we are. I tell you what, this being my first Norton and my first chopper project, I'm winning. Oh, here, look. Check this, all it is a cover. So you loosen these set screws and then you have a normal gas cap. But where's the style in that? We want everybody to know that this is a chopper. Wait, how can we be that far off? How can that be?
How can what be?
Like this hole doesn't line up. Look how far off that is. That's pretty far off. Loosen this up. Okay, well that didn't do it. Dang thing.
Come on, Craig, you got it off.
I know.
Let's go.
Makes no sense. Starting to wonder if this front one was ever even in that hole. You know, this is all part of owning your first chopper. When you're not the guy that chopperized it, you just have to figure out how it works. Next time I take the tank off, I'll know what to do. The reason that was tight is because I was putting the nut on at the same time and I had it. You have to thread through the frame a little bit, end of the nut, but I had it up again, so it's just kind of like, it's all right, it'll be fine. It's crooked, but I'm not convinced it was in there to begin with because it was just finger tight. I think it was just stuck in that rubber. All right, anyway, carburetor, let's put the carburetor on. Remember, you got your groove, and you got your pin, you line those up, and you gotta watch that your needle gets in the center. All slides down nice and neat. All right. That's nice and tight. Now, before we do air filter, let's do fuel filter and fuel lines. Figure out spark plugs. Everything else is looking good. I'm gonna see if we can breathe a little life into this beast. Let's stick this over here. A small piece for the fuel filter. I'm gonna run this one. It has a 90 and it's clear and it has a little better filtration than just the screen. Okay, flow is this way. And I like that for this application. I can see the fuel coming through it. A little better filtration because we know we have a liner in the tank. There we go. My word, this takes a lot of clamps and clips. Go here. That air cleaner is as clean as the day is long. That's not true, it's not. Okay, next thing we need is plugs. Okay, let's thread that in there. Give it the old snuggaroo. Put a little of this in there. Okay, got a good connection there. There we go. Gas. We need some gas to put in the tank. I think we're about ready. Everybody's favorite time. Let's get this table clean. And we gotta get a little gas, and I gotta get a battery, and we are set. I'm excited. Oh, dang it. It's a little too big. Let's see if we can make something here work. we turn that key on, do we get any sort of lights? Yeah,
Yep.
we got a light.
I think we're good, Craig.
You thinking what I'm thinking? If I turn the petcocks on, I should see fuel flow. Okay, we got fuel on that one, and we got fuel on that one, and we have what's hanging up on our choke. Okay, now it's working. There's our, oh.
Uh-oh, uh-oh, what's that?
That's a sticky float. You got it?
Is that where it was coming from?
Yeah, I think it was just a sticky float. It's not leaking now. Like I said, it's not leaking now. I don't know, Dan, this is a moment of truth.
Moment of truth.
Truth. Turn the key on.
Moment of chopper truth.
Do we still have lights?
Yeah,
Okay.
still have lights.
Okay. I'm gonna turn the choke on. Pink. I'm gonna turn the fuel on. Horn works. Throttle's closing. How many kicks?
5.
I'm going 9.
You're going 9.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay, here we go. This is really exciting. Give it a couple primers.
When have we ever been right about number of kicks?
What's that?
When have we ever been right?
I think if you look back through the stats, I've been right pretty much every time.
Oh, every single time, yeah.
This almost terrifies me, like it's gonna shatter my leg. Couple primers here.
Was that a primer? Oh, sounded different.
Yeah, I had the throttle open a little bit there. How'd I get a cat hair in there?
Well, that's the problem.
Well, there's your issue.
Can't have cat hair in there. Mm-mm.
Okay, we're gonna double check that we got the spark we want to pulling these plugs out. Yeah, we have good spark. I just punched the horn.
Did that feel really good?
Yeah. That's back on. Let's pull this air cleaner off. Get off the air cleaner. Now we can get direct shot at Go Juice.
We don't need clean air where we're going.
That's right. It's cold and wintry out there. There's no dust. It's all frozen. So we still have gas on. Still have electric. Okay.
Well, with how resilient this horn has been, it's gotta work.
I know.
Whoa!
Nice. Yeah! Yeah! How exciting is that? Yeah. Right side shift.
Oh.
I stalled it because I'm a big dummy. First time I rode a motorcycle all day. Oh, I pinched my thumb. Ow. Get a tank slapper on this.
Yeah! Go, Craig, chop, chop!
Oh my, this is fun.
Oh, there he goes to go freeze to death on a Norton.
We have brakes, kinda. Oh, oh, it's down. Oh my gosh, this thing is an absolute death trap. Okay, so shifting is on the right, and it's backwards to how you normally think. Oh no. Oh man, dude. There we go. 20 miles an hour feels like 100. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Brake that side. Jeez, dadgum. Wait, brake. Okay. Upshift to downshift with the right foot. Brake on the left. Brake on the right hand. This is really something. So now if I upshift all the way, That means I'm in first. Yep, we're in first. So wait, brake, clutch, upshift to downshift. There we go. I'm getting the hang of this. Face is cold. Let's see, we're gonna go up past Dan here and see how cool we look. Let's get out of here before the cops come, Dan. You want to talk, I don't even know where the kickstand is. You want to talk about a contraption. So first of all, you have to ride it like this. And every time you want to move your, like this kicker keeps poking you in the Achilles bits. The really fun part is, with it being right side shift, it's also 1 up and 3 down. So when I was stalling it here, it's because I was trying to pull out in second.
Oh.
Yeah, so when I upshifted going down the hill there with some rip-ums, it actually downshifted, locked up the rear tire and went. But anyway, here we are. I finally have a Norton. I finally have a chopper. It runs, it does burnouts. I'm super happy. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hopefully you learned something about these old Nortons. Dan's gonna put a video here and here. Check them out now, you're gonna love them. See you later.